is Miss Ria Rosa de Lujan de la Cruz. I am with Mr. Kian Herzon Mosende, the other pre-service teacher. So for today, we are going to discuss to you the topic examine how visual elements are used as a tools to achieve the intended meaning of informational text. We have vectors, viewpoints, technical editing, and animation. Now, by the end of the lesson, students will be able to define vectors, viewpoints, technical editing, and animation as the visual elements used in informational text. Identify how these visual elements helps contribute meaning in scientific, mathematical, or technical materials, and analyze simple informational text to determine how vectors, viewpoints, technical editing, and animations contribute to clarity and communication. We're super excited to share today's topic with you because this lesson will completely change how you read diagrams, charts, science modules, and even animation online. So have you ever looked at a diagram and thought, hala, ano to? Bakit parang ang gulo? Or have you ever seen an arrows, angles, or animations in your modules and wondered, what are they trying to show you?
Today, we are going to explore something exciting. How visual elements are used in informational text. By the end of this lesson, you will understand how vectors, viewpoints, technical editing, and animation helps us get the intended meaning of a text. Don't worry, it sounds technical, but I promise, we will make it fun and easy to understand.
Are you ready, class? So yes, now let us begin with vectors. Now, vectors are lines or arrows that guides our eyes where to look. In visual or pictures, they show directions or connections. In math and science, vectors also have magnitude or strength or length and direction of where something points. Now, to be more clear, let's have an example. In a South African folktale, the lion's whistler, when the girl reaches out her hand towards the lion, her arms act like a visual vector, guiding our eyes straight to the lion. Let's have another example. So, as you can see in the picture, there is an apple tree and one of the apple fruits has fallen. We know that the direction of it is pa down, right? That's because of a gravity. But to understand it better, the direction of the apple is downward because of the arrow facing down, which an example of a vector. Also, in this another example, math, if we draw arrows on a graph, they show us both directions and magnitude. Okay, to make the idea of a vector clearer, here's another more example. So, when we watch a basketball game, your eyes follow the ball, right? The ball, as it moves through the air, the ball becomes the vector because it shows the directions where your eyes are focused, right? Very good, class. You've got it. Now, moving on to the viewpoint. So, viewpoint is an angle or perspective which information is presented. It affects how the audience feels towards the subject, whether small, powerful, or equal. So, in simple terms, it is like the camera lens of your camera shows the scene based on where it is focused, and that's also how the scene will appear to you. So let us look at the examples. Oh, it's a lion! In many African stories, lions are often shown as a powerful and intimidating animal. Illustrator may use a low angle in this first picture or looking up at a lion for it to look more majestic, dominant, or even scary. On the other hand, this picture right here, using a low angle or you think looking down on a lion can make it look weaker or less scary. Diba? Do you notice the difference? Just like this example. Taking a selfie. It looks different when it's a top view shot, and it also changes when it is taken at a low angle. And so, viewpoints help us feel a certain way about a subject. Great job, class! Now that you understand angles or viewpoints, I hope that this can change how we see something. Keep noticing the details in stories and pictures. Now, do you want to meet another pre-service teacher? Oh wait, do you remember Mr. Kian Herzon Mosende? That's right, class! Mr. Kian Herzon Mosende will continue the discussion of the technical elements and the animation. See you, everyone!
Thank you, Ma'am Dela Cruz. Okay, students, nice to meet you again. I am Mr. Kian Mosende, and now let us continue the discussion, shall we? The next visual element is technical editing. Technical editing is when we fix and organize information so it becomes clearer and easier to understand. This can be done by using charts like tables, graphs, or pictures that show numbers, headings, or titles for each part of labels for names or tags for things. Sometimes it's hard to understand when it's all just words. But if there is a chart showing the amount of rainfall, it becomes much easier for us to see and understand. We can immediately notice that when there is more rain, there's also a bigger harvest. Another example, when you buy vegetables at the market, it is easier to see the prices if they're placed on a table or labeled, rather than just hearing them as plain words, right? Like, it's so much better if the prices are already labeled than to ask the vendor about the price each time. Like, what if you're an introvert and you're so shy to ask? Just kidding. In other words, technical editing makes information neat, simple, and easier to understand. Well done! You learned that organizing information with charts, labels, or titles helps make it easier to understand. Lastly is animation. Animations are moving pictures or graphics that show how something happens step by step, instead of just reading or looking at still images. Animations move and change to demonstrate a process. And because they move, they catch our attention and make lessons more exciting and help us understand better. Imagine an animation showing the river flowing from mountains to farms. It helps us easily see how it gives life to people. Think about it. If comics are already lively, imagine how much more engaging they are if they move, like TikTok videos. Because they move, they grab more attention than plain pictures. Great job! You can see how animations make learning easier and more fun by showing. Alright, let us check what you have learned from our lesson. Let's have a mini quiz. Choose the letter of the best answer for each item.
Hello everyone, it's me again, Miss Ria Rosa de la Cruz. So class, today we learned how visual elements are powerful tools to achieve meaningful informational tasks, and these elements are vectors that guides our eyes. Viewpoints changes how we see things, and technical editing makes information clear, and animation bring concepts to life. Remember, visual elements are not just decorations. They are tools that helps us learn and feel meaning.
Great job, class! We just finished another lesson that will surely help you level up in school, life, and the future. And that, class, is the power of visual elements. They guide your eyes, organize your thinking, and boost your understanding.
Once you learn how to read them, informational text becomes so much easier. Thank you for listening, and keep observing visuals around you.